I woke up day of my birthday and saw the money.
I actually can't even think of my answer. When was the last time you claimed a wave? First 20 seconds of the first live stream of the world tour, and it was just pay Tanner, pay Tanner. When I got stung on my head, I started to go like into anaphylactic shock.
Hey, there might be a pipe event, we'll call it.
The Shark Island Challenge as well.
That is true.
Right.
So with that one,
I was super impressed with the girls surfing.
you know, women's division was definitely the highlight for their whole Hawaii leg, I feel like.
There's a couple people out there that are just furious that you said that.
The best part about it is I never had health insurance to begin with, so.
The boogie boarding world is just getting a shake-up lately.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the fourth edition of the Breaking Even podcast. Just full of nonsense, full of barnacles, full of stories. Speaking of stories, actually before that, we had two birthdays this week. Two big birthdays, 2 days
Let's
apart.
go. The teas. Getting old.
How does it
Yeah.
feel to be well, I guess Tanner can rent a car now, and Tristan just
has
26.
back pain.
Gotta get my own health insurance.
No one gives about 20. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you don't have shared parental insurance anymore.
The best part about it is I never had health insurance to begin with, so didn't really get screwed on anything there.
I just recently got it myself, so
Oh,
huge.
yeah. What are you on? What are you repping?
Blue
Do you know?
Anthem, Blue Cross.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was the cheapest thing I could do.
So
Shout out state of California.
no.
There you go.
So we don't have to expect any GoFundMe's for hospital bills anytime soon.
Well, let's hope not.
Yeah.
I have to check on my plan. I hope not.
Yeah.
I need some
All right.
GoFundMe's to pay my health insurance every month.
just for the premium.
I don't know how to use it, luckily. I thought as soon as I got it, that's just when, you need it. It's as soon as you
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah, you never know. Like, it was actually pretty crazy. Like, so my insurance like was kind of changing this year, because like tax rates and stuff. Like, I kind of moved into like a different bracket, and I was like looking into different options, and dude, it's pretty crazy because I almost considered downgrading my insurance because it's like, oh, like I've been like safe for the last couple of years, like like trying not to get hurt and things like that. And literally the week after, I was like, no, like I should just keep it the same. I'm like, you always say like, oh, nothing's gonna happen, and something happens. And literally that following week was when I got stung on my head. And I don't know, I don't even know if I even told you guys this. I
I have
like
no idea what
fully
you're
like
talking about.
went in. I like
You got
fully
stung
went
by
into
a
like,
bee, Swerve?
yeah, well, I've been stung by bees like literally like 50 plus times in my life. Like, because I've been working out in the yard, and like you get stung at the beach. Like, I've been stung like dozens and dozens of times, and literally nothing has ever happened. But for some reason, like I've been stung like 4 separate occasions in the last like 30 days, and they all occurred like above my shoulder, so like neck or head.
Shit.
Um,
God.
and apparently, which I didn't know this prior to this incident, was like the level of reaction, like when it's specifically above your shoulders, like can get more severe with each sting. So the first one was like nothing, like all my other stings, and then the second one was like, it definitely got like a bit inflamed, and then the third one, I got like my face got like pretty swollen. I was like, whoa, that was kind of crazy. And then this fourth one, I started to go like into anaphylactic shock like quite quickly, which
Holy
is crazy
shit.
because I'm not allergic to anything, so I wasn't really familiar with the what was happening, because it was happening like so quick. Like my whole body I went into like full hives, like my whole body, and like like my vision started like going kind of blurry, like it was pretty crazy. And like my whole body got super hot, and I had to go to the basically like well, I went to urgent care first just because that geographically was much closer to me than the hospital, and I figured if I needed to go to the hospital, at least I would be in medical care, and then they could just call an ambulance from there or whatever. But yeah, so
Oh,
they gave me
jeez.
like a big old shot and stuff, and yeah, that was wild. But
What the
point
heck?
being is that whole thing only costed, my copay was like $50 versus if I had no
Thousands.
insurance, it would have been, yeah, it probably would have could have easily dropped like $1,000 right there, right then and there.
Jeez,
So
that's insane.
that's a lesson to all of you guys. If you're surfing heavy waves, or even if you're not surfing heavy waves, if you just do literally anything, like you definitely should have insurance. So
Or just live somewhere where they, the government takes care of you.
yeah, or if you're lucky enough to live in a place where you can get decent insurance from the government, that's cool too.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's been
But
going on,
anyways,
fellas, other than Swerve almost dying?
yeah, that was crazy.
Why are you messing with the bees, Swerve?
Dude, I'm not messing with the bees. I
You gotta let them be.
Oh,
I have two different hives at my house. So there's a hive like in the, well, not my house, my parents' house. So I have to go visit them. But but there's one in the front yard and one in the backyard. One of them is Africanized colony, and so they're super aggressive. It's fine. I won't bore you with bee details, but just know Africanized.
So what, you like poke a little stick in there, or how you get them riled up?
No, literally with the Africanized bees, like if you're like within like 10 feet of their hive, they're just super aggressive. Like even if you're not making like super sudden movements or anything. My mistake this past time, I was kind of wearing dark colors. And when you wear dark colors, it resembles bear. And bears are like basically kind of like their predator, because bears, rip apart the beehives trying to get honey. So if you're wearing like dark clothes around bees, they think that they think you're a bear.
Dang.
There's your bee lesson for the day, everyone.
Yeah, anyone hit up Alex Perez for your bee knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't know jack about bees. But anyways, what's going on? What are we doing? There's a lot of things that have been happening this week. So
The boogie boarding world is just getting a shakeup lately.
Jeez,
There's some stuff happening. It's crazy.
Waves, Tristan waves,
Well,
Swerve waves, Swerve, you're there, and there was a huge swell.
yeah,
Maui?
yeah, it was pretty sick. I was there the week of Valentine's Day. I mean, it wasn't really a surfing trip, unfortunately, so I didn't get to like surf every day, but
cruise, do cool
yeah,
stuff.
mostly to cruise. But like, yeah, I got to see Honolulu, like pretty proper, and then the harbor wave was like breaking. I think Jaws was breaking too. Like one of the days, it was definitely big enough.
Yeah.
But the winds were like, it was like 40 knot onshore, so I don't think it was. I don't think it was like surfable.
yeah, that's
But
a
yeah,
no.
yeah, but it was cool though. It was cool to see those waves working. Like I'd never seen the harbor wave in person before, and it's always been like a wave I've like been not like mystified by, but super intrigued. So that was cool. Unfortunately, the two
setup.
times it's so weird. Like the setup. Unfortunately, when I went, like the two times, like it just wasn't good. One time there's nobody in the water, and I was like, I am not fucking surfing harbor by myself. I'm not gonna get eaten by a shark.
It's a little spooky. That brown water.
Yeah, super dark, and it was like howling onshore, like outside of the harbor, and it was like kind of like dark, and I'm like, yeah, no way, I'm not surfing by myself.
Kind of sounds like where Tristan's at.
Dark and scary
all the time.
and full of sharks.
Yeah.
Just another day.
Have you even touched the water in the last? No.
No. Mostly just because I'm busy, but I would like to. Like to.
What was that? You sent a right. It looked like you had to hike there. It was like a right point break sort of deal. Not a point break, but it was a beach break, and it was a good right. It was like a huge cliff on the left.
Recently,
cool.
I sent you?
No, I don't know when that was. Maybe like a week, 2 weeks ago. on a weekend. I think you were out.
Dude, you're gonna get him. You're gonna
Adventuring.
get him killed. You're exposing, exposing
Gonna get
secrets.
tomahawked.
Whoa.
I'm sure there's
Yeah,
just one
there's
of
just
those in the world.
yeah, no, there's just lots of sandbars up here. So yeah, I don't know. I just went on a long, like I sent you guys, or I think I posted on my story like a long hike just on a
Yeah,
long
yeah,
empty beach. Yeah. And
that
they're
was it.
just looking for little sandbars. So that's cool.
Mhm. We got
Dang.
pretty
Yeah.
smacked again down here.
Oh,
Uh,
with Swell?
it was just so big and so onshore, and like,
Oh, really?
and yeah, it was it
Were
was
there
almost
were there
as
any windows that like it was
there
good, or
was.
did you just kind of have to brave the elements?
We went to Seal that one day after it had rained for like a day, so that
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
hectic. And like for a second there on the buoy, it was like as big as the December swell,
Oh
and
wow!
we were like, "What the hell is going on out there?
But it was
what are we
but it was
doing?"
like super short period though, so it like faded. Did it like
I
come
don't
and
know.
go pretty
It was
quickly?
pretty
No,
long period.
yeah, it was
No.
like 16, 15
Oh.
seconds, I think.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty big period for like a storm.
Yeah, but yeah, we went
Yeah.
up and surfed Seal that one day. That I posted that video, and there was just so much work, a lot of water moving and a lot of nonsense, but like there were a couple good ones. Tanner got a good invert and a
Mhm.
couple other random little ones.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun.
But
Fun just fighting the elements.
yeah,
Yeah.
dirty.
Did you guys see any like crazy stuff in the lineup?
Yeah. What did we see? There was something like rolling around on the beach that we
There was a shopping cart. That
that's
was
what it
Oh,
was.
so
so
annoying,
many
dude.
shopping carts.
Whoa.
We were
Was it like stuck in the impact zone, or like where was
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
So we were freaking standing there, like watching the waves, and we are like, "Oh, it looks good at the pier." Like we were considering going out there, and we saw like three good ones, and then like boom, shopping cart, and I was like, "Nope, I'm not going over there."
No, and
Like,
it was sitting right like where you would be. It was just like in the most dangerous spots. We're like, oh well, I guess we can't surf
My
there.
God.
like
Yeah.
if you did any sort of like air maneuver or like came out of a barrel, like as it was like trying to doggy door it, right where that would be was where the shopping cart was.
Imagine the cart was like facing up, and so it was like the basket was like facing towards you, and you literally come out of a barrel, and it's like a bear like a bear trap. you
You just
go
get
You just
caged.
go into it.
you just go into it, and then like you just get like crumpled up like inside of the cart. Oh
Oh,
jeez, that
gosh.
would be
Yeah, there was
that'd
a
be
high
scary.
probability of that. So we surfed down the beach,
Yeah,
avoiding
but
the shopping cart at all costs.
there's no one out, so that was like pretty cool. Like there were still
Like
peaks and
like
like shape.
literally nobody, or
There
just like,
was
or it was.
yeah, it was like just us.
Oh
We paddled
wow.
out and then like Juan came out like an hour later
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
a couple other people who were surfing the outside like drifted over and then went in.
Yeah.
But it was fun, you know. It's nice to see
Sick.
like nice to surf waves around here with like that kind of like
Power.
energy. It was just like
Yeah.
it was exciting.
Yeah.
Did you guys end up surfing anywhere else, or was that pretty much it?
I was pretty shot after that.
Yeah, it was pretty like rights off kind of, but still was just
Mhm.
like the the wind was just kind of bad that whole swell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was unfortunate.
But
And then
that was
right
red.
after that, um, Tanner, you like left for this secret comp, right? Like pretty much right after that, almost.
Yeah, I found out about it that day actually. Mike called me
Crazy.
and was like, "Hey, there might be a, you know, a pipe event, we'll call it,
Mhm.
um, on Saturday." And this was
Yeah.
like Wednesday or Thursday, maybe when he called me. He's like, "I'm, you know, trying to get it off the ground, basically." There's a permit, same permit as that we've used in the past that we, you know, can run a contest. Just got to get our ducks in a row,
Mhm.
and it's on. So I basically waited until it was mostly confirmed. I think I booked my ticket Thursday night and then left Friday afternoon.
Mhm.
Um, and man, the forecast was insane. It looked like it was going to be like by all like based on the forecast, we were going to score. Like it was like supposed to
Mhm.
be like 8 to 10 foot, like east winds all day, like solid swell. Like it was going to be pumping.
Building all
Mhm.
day.
So we're all fired up. I get there. Friday night, and we show up in the morning, and we get to the beach, and it's like the swell didn't show up like they
Oh
thought.
wow.
There was size still, but just was not the day that we were expecting. We still ran the contest. It was kind of the book jam format where we had six people in each, we'll call them a heat.
Mhm.
Six people in the heat, just kind of free for all. Got to surf twice. So, we got kind of unlucky with the waves, but it was cool to surf pipe with no one out. It was fun, like some decent backdoor
Yeah.
waves. There were a couple of
Looked like
really
a
good
nice,
pipe waves that came in. It just wasn't amazing,
cons
but it was fun.
Mhm.
yeah, seems
And
like
it
a
was
nice
like,
time just to be out there with freaking couple bratas.
yeah, it was great.
And what
I mean,
was
it would
like
have
the
been,
setup? Was there like someone like filming? Like, will there be like some kind of like highlight clip that comes out of it?
yeah, yeah, there are a bunch of people filming.
Yeah.
I've got a few clips I've seen already. There might have been a YouTube clip posted of just like the best rides from that day. I think
Yeah.
Scooby Tubes posted that maybe.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
like I
saw
said, it
that.
was
I don't.
it was it was mostly average the whole time. But
Yeah.
like people
Yeah.
are getting good waves, good enough waves. And
Hmm.
it's just always good to have like bodyboarding representation out at Pipe. Like that's pretty
Yeah.
important for
Yeah,
Hawaii and just kind of the sport in general. Like every year that there's not a anything anytime there's nothing at Pipe, it just feels like a letdown.
Hmm.
So I
yeah,
definitely think it
especially
was
if there's a
better.
permit. There's like a permit
Yeah,
that you can like kind of wiggle around and make it happen. I feel like it should be
yeah,
used.
and like it was a bummer because the waves didn't happen like they were supposed to,
Yeah.
but that was really no like you can't do anything about that. It was forecasted to be like you know pretty pretty big and
Insane.
good.
Yeah.
So
Is there going to be like a winner with a prize, or
I
is
don't
it just
know.
like is it just kind of it was just like a expression session type
Yeah, I
thing?
think it was just like they were considering and like trying to figure out how to decide a winner, but it ended up just being an expression session.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Still
but
pretty
it
sick.
was it was cool. Yeah, good little strike
That's it.
mission over.
Yeah.
Got to hang out and hang with Mike for a couple days. Had a sick body surfing session at Sandy's actually.
Sick.
Oh,
Yeah, that was fun. Like small Sandy's, but like just really really fun body surf sesh with Mike.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it was cool. I got back a couple days ago. Um, Cruising. Yeah, it's all good.
Nice. And then I guess staying on the topic of pipe, they just ran basically Pipe Masters or the CT event. I don't know what they call it.
Surfboarding.
Yeti, Lexus,
Lexus Pipe
I
Yeah,
don't
Pro,
know.
baby. Let's
Lexus
go.
Pipe Pro
yeah.
presented by Yeti or some shit like
Whatever
that.
their title is,
But yeah, whatever their title is. But
they
I would
scored.
say for yeah, I dude, I was blown away. Like, I mean, how good the waves were. Like, I mean, they did run that one like really bad day, which was, but I mean, they kind of got
Yeah,
stuck with in terms of like they didn't run the big day, they ran the small day, but at least the finals day was pumping, and I was
yeah,
super impressed with the girls surfing. Like, bro, they were getting proper barrels.
yeah.
Like I was super super impressed. Like, and it wasn't like, oh, one girl charging that got one good wave. Like, no, like it was like
Just
the
the
quarters
whole clout.
on. Yeah, like the quarters on, like everybody was like pretty much getting like sick ones. Like
Going
it
for it.
was, yeah, it was super fun to watch. And same thing at Sunset too. Like, I mean, it was definitely more challenging conditions, but they were
Yeah,
definitely still sending it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like the women's division was definitely the highlight for like their whole Hawaii leg, I feel like. I
Hmm.
think
yeah. I
that's
feel like it
kind of
opened
been
some
the
eyes.
general that's been like
Yeah,
pretty much the general consensus. Like just watching the new girls just like really like show what they got. It was really cool.
Send it.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's cool
exactly.
too that all of them, like all of the girls that were like basically in the finals day are all super young too. Like I
Yeah.
think like the oldest might be like Molly. I
Yeah,
think.
and she's like
And she's
early 20s
yeah, and
still.
she's like still early 20s. Like
That's
a
wild.
couple of them are still like teens, and it's like wow, like it's really cool to think like man, like if they keep getting like exposure at pipe and like like heavy waves like this, like where they have the like a heats where they can actually like go put in the time and like actually be able to get like good waves. I mean, because it's like man, nowadays like a pipe, like I mean, and it has been like that for a long time. Like it's just so the crowd is heavy. Like
Yeah.
to be able to actually get a good one out there for anybody, not just a girl, not just a bodyboarder, but literally anybody. Like it's pretty tough.
It's a battle for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sick. That was really cool to see,
Hmm.
I think pretty much everyone was just like pumped on that. Like I didn't read anything negative about it. Like it was all
Yeah.
just like really high praise and just good support for it. So it was cool.
Yeah. However, on the other hand, did you guys see any of the Morocco comp?
Oh,
I pulled it up. I think it was the first day for like the first, like, you know how you can go back on YouTube and like watch the first
Yeah.
actual like heat or when they started it. And I was like, huh,
mhm.
I'm really curious what the comments are about in these first 20 seconds of the first live stream of the entire world tour, and all of them were just pay Tanner, pay Tanner, pay Tanner. It was like the whole first like minute was just like three
Well,
guys bashing.
well, just to set the record, I have been paid. I got
The man's
paid.
been paid.
I
He's
got
fully
paid
get over.
yesterday. I woke up day of my birthday and saw the money. So
It was
thanks,
just a
That
guys.
rig
that
the
to
whole
me was
time. It was just a
that
rig.
to me was the funniest thing. The fact that they sent it to you on like your birthday as if it was like
A present.
intentional.
Yeah,
Like,
that was the first thing I saw in the morning. Like it's pretty funny.
And they
yeah,
didn't
So
post.
yeah,
They didn't post you on your birthday either. And we got
no,
Pierre up there. We got Tristan up there. We got all these other guys up
yeah.
there.
that's
I
fine.
mean, it would have missed opportunity for them. They could have done like like a collab post and like happy
He's been
birthday Tanner,
paid.
like here's your money.
I don't know. I feel
Like a screenshot of like the bank
Yeah.
transaction.
I still feel like even if they had done that, it would have been just an absolute bloodbath in the comments. So maybe it was for the
Yeah.
best. So
But
good.
I'm
that
But
was
surprised they haven't figured out that you can turn off comments on posts.
I am surprised too,
yeah.
because you'd think they would have done that a few times by now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but back to the topic of Morocco. Man, that looked bad.
It was dude, it was and it sucks because it's like, I know there's like so many bodyboarders there and like the sport is like pretty strong there and like that
Yeah.
wave can get so good,
Mhm.
but they just got so unlucky with the wind
I
and
did.
the conditions.
I did really
And
like how they
Yeah.
moved it to that point break though. Like that. If it was good there, it would have been really freaking sick.
Yeah. Like
But
yeah, I
the
mean,
final day looked
the wave they were at before looked like just cheeks, whatever
yeah.
that was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's yeah,
Maybe it was just like
heinous.
hard to film, but it just looked like a soft little.
Well, I mean, when you're filming on a potato without a tripod, I think
yeah.
I think you're definitely not helping your case in terms of making it look, you know, presentable.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
I like the final day waves looked decent. Like, guys were getting lips into the flats and stuff like that and being able to link them. Like I think I saw a
mhm,
clip of Armide doing like three backflips on one wave, which was impressive.
Yeah.
Wave
mhm.
wasn't that great. He really made it happen. So that's kind of more of a nod to him for being able to manufacture something on that wave. But
Mhm.
waves looked all right for the final day. Like, I think from the quarters to the final, like I like skimmed through some of the heats and like the scores were pretty high, which is another topic of discussion. Um,
I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah,
but
I was shocked at like there's some big numbers just being
yeah,
way too loosely
Handed.
thrown around. I was
yeah.
yeah.
My biggest like, yeah, I don't know. Like judging there seems like it would be pretty hard too. So they
Mhm.
definitely had, you know, their work cut out for them, but they were some certainly questionable calls. And, you see that everyone is kind of tripping out on the scale and whatnot, but like the waves were decent um, for the final day, which, I'm glad to see that for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a tricky wave to compete at. Like I was imagining if I was there, like what am I, what's my game plan here? Like, what am I doing?
Mm,
I
Yeah.
think the biggest bummer for them when they were surfing the point, like the two bigger days, was there was no jet ski assist.
ooh.
So it
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
that's a
you
big
if
paddle.
you ride a wave all the way to the end, it was like I think they were saying it's like a 6 or 7 minute paddle back to the peak.
Whoa.
So you basically can catch two waves in a heat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because yeah, you're running like 20 to 30 or 20 to 25-minute heats, right? I
They
think.
were running 20-minute elimination heats at one
Oh,
point,
wow.
which I feel like goes against the rule book. I feel like that's not allowed anymore. But but
That's
Yeah,
we're
because
wild. I
yeah,
didn't know that.
20 is only supposed to be for non-elimination, right? And it's 25 for
I
elimination
haven't surfed a
or something
20-minute
like that.
heat on the world tour in years. Like I didn't think they
Yeah.
could still do that.
Oh, wow.
Like it's
Oh, I
25 is
wonder
the
what the,
standard.
yeah, I wonder, that's weird. I wonder what the reason for that
Yeah,
was.
I think they just really needed to get through heats to finish on that last day. Like I think it got pretty small after the day they finished on, so they had to make sure they could
Mm.
finish that day.
Yeah. Well, and then I guess in terms of, well, while we're on the topic of the tour, like, you announced this past week that you're taking a year off from the tour. Like, is
Yeah.
there is there anything that you like want to elaborate on? Like, maybe tease a little something that maybe you have, in the works or
I got a few things half in the works, a few things in the pipeline.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest thing that I would like to clarify is like, I made this decision pretty early on last year. Like I was kind of feeling like you know, the stress of the world title from the previous year and then the stress that I was starting to put on myself for, 2023. I was like, man, I need a break. I was already kind of feeling that way. And then just how long and just how hard it was in 2023 just really made it like feel just really solidified
Needed.
that I needed to take a year off.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have anything to do with me getting paid,
Hmm.
or not getting paid. That certainly didn't help, but
Yeah.
that wasn't like I was taking a stand for that. Um,
Yeah, it seems like a
Hmm.
lot of people think that's like the reason.
which is fair.
Yeah.
It's a fair assumption because it's been a fairly public issue, and
Yeah.
it's coincidental timing for sure. But that wasn't the reason why. My mind was pretty much made up pretty early on last year,
Mm,
that I would take this year off, win or lose, basically the world title.
Hmm.
And then how I felt after I won, um, just the kind of the come down and everything from that just made me really feel like I need a break. And now I have some cool opportunities that I get to, take this year, which I wouldn't be able to if I was doing the tour. Or maybe I
Yeah.
could, but you get so, I don't know, I feel like I want to give what I'm doing 100%. And if you're doing stuff on the side with the world tour, at least I found it's hard to put all your focus in that because while you're competing, you're also thinking, okay, I got to also get ready for this trip that I'm doing right after. You're half thinking about that. I don't know.
it's
It's
just a
it's a it's
lot
not
of
a bad problem.
nonsense.
It's not a bad problem to have, but I
Yeah.
certainly want to be giving what I'm doing, you know, all of my attention and energy. And
Hmm.
also financially, it's just, you know, the tour's expensive.
Yeah.
Tour's expensive and, I felt like
Retweet.
yeah, I felt like I accomplished what I was there to do. So, you know, if and when it's time, I feel like it's time where I want to go back, I will.
Hmm.
But right now, I want the year off. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
That's
I guess
good.
to allude at some, other plans, I guess
Hmm.
it's not too early for me to say, but my plan is to go to Australia for a good chunk of time. Um,
Hmm.
haven't been there in a couple years, and Australia was really important to me when I was a kid. Like I spent a lot of time going there and surfing and just hanging down there. And I've been really looking forward to being able to get back down there and just surf and have a good time.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think you're now, I think I've officially and publicly confirmed for the Shark Island Challenge as well,
Yeah.
That is true.
right?
So with that one, my plan is I'm gonna be there. The Shark Island waiting period is huge. It's like I
Hmm.
think
It's like
over a
months,
month.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big waiting period. So I'm gonna be there for part of the waiting period. My plan is to be there for the start of the waiting period. If they run it when I'm there, I'm in.
Mm.
But if I'm gone and they call it on, I'm not gonna go back for it. Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So you won't
then
be there for the full,
no,
you won't be there for the full time.
no, there's a few things before that that I want to be there for, and
Hmm.
it doesn't make sense to stay the whole time. I don't want to base my
Yeah.
trip on that contest because comp might
Yeah.
not run. Like
Yeah, they
I
could
don't
just
want to
Or
be
not
at
run it.
all.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to be waiting around for them to call it on to go, and then I've missed like, missed waves that I could have been there for. So I'm not basing my trip around that. It's a happy
Hmm.
coincidence that it's happening while I'll be there potentially.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. So I mean, if it happens when I'm there, I'm in. Be really cool to compete there. If not, then hopefully they give it to a local Grom,
Yeah.
which would be my
Well,
request.
I mean,
Just,
depends. I guess it depends on how big it
Yeah, we'll see.
is.
We'll see.
just,
Hope.
just today, I got roped into submitting an online trial, so we'll see how that rolls.
Oh, you're gonna come and hang.
I could very well come and hang,
Sick. Yeah, well, I mean,
but
it'll be cool to have that event back. So
seems like it's a pretty like competitive field there, so hopes aren't too
yeah,
high.
yeah,
Figured might as well though. Like it'd be pretty freaking wild.
yeah. I mean, you might as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be
But
sick.
Well,
Wait, Craig, so how does that work? What you
from
send
my
in like a
understanding, yeah, it's like on the Riptide site. There's I mean, obviously, since they can't do like a trial, there's a page where you upload like 3 waves from the last like 3 years,
Mhm.
and it can be any time from the last 3 years. And you basically make like a little edit of those waves and put it together and send it in. And then I think there's a panel who chooses, and there's only 2 spots.
Oh
So
wow. That's a small thing.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think they just choose. I don't know when exactly that is. That sounds like they
And
got a lot of time.
are the trials open to it's just globally, so Australia
Yeah,
included, I presume.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's anyone and everyone who wants to throw in a couple waves, which is
Yeah.
why I
sick.
was like sick, dude. Like if I
Yeah,
get
why
it,
not?
cool.
Yeah,
But it sounds like there's gonna be a lot of people doing it. But
yeah. There's a pretty big crew of guys there, so I'm
yeah,
honored to be, offered a spot. So
for sure.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else we got going on? What else is going on in the boogie boarding world?
PLC.
That's
Yeah,
yeah,
that was just like a bomb that dropped and exploded the internet for a couple days. Still is actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think people are still kind of tripping out on it. I mean,
Yeah.
we've all been discussing it. It's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really curious to see because like on the VBC page, like a lot of that older generation, like those guys are very like vehemently like aggressive towards the new, brand of Moray and
Really?
Churchill, BZ, etc. Yeah, well, because like the basically like the Moray family like doesn't really approve of like a lot of what they've been doing, and like especially like they made some like board. I think it was like a couple like the year before Tom had passed away, like some kind of like anniversary board, and it wasn't like approved, and
Mm.
obviously like up until literally right now within the last 2 days, they hadn't really been contributing towards back into
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's true.
bodyboard industry. So I was, it definitely seems like pretty, um, pretty divided, at least amongst that community. Because I mean, there isn't really like a central area where like people are kind of openly discussing it, and so I that kind of is one of the few platforms. And but yeah, it definitely seems
where people talk
divided.
about
Like
moray bodyboards.
yeah, I mean, well, yeah, and because
Yeah.
that's where they, that's one of the most popular topics. There are, vintage boards, and Moray BZ are
Mm.
basically like, the core of that,
Yeah,
topic of conversation. But yeah, it's like basically like half are like, like they're probably not going to pay him, like, because unfortunately they do have a bad history of that with,
yeah,
Jeff and Dave and Mike, and and then the other half are like, well, good for him, like, like hopefully, it works out, and like, they're kind of optimistic about it, and hope that he does get paid and whatever it is, that they,
Yeah.
agreed upon, and hope that he can, kind of help bring back some, legitimacy to the brand, and
That's kind of
yeah.
where I'm
I,
at. I think it's cool.
I
yeah,
think
I
it's
mean,
Keep it
important to
informed.
have that
yeah,
in the sport. And as far as I understand, there's, relatively new people involved in it. So
hmm
I think that's a good sign.
yeah,
But yeah, it's pretty wild. I don't think it was anything that people expected. So, you know, certainly
Yeah.
got quite a bit of shock value from it.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
that's
I was shocked.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Was it? Did you send it in to the chat, Tristan? Was that or I forget how it happened, but
Um, yeah, no, I saw Pierre was leaving. I was like, dang. We were, yeah, me and Swerve were thinking that maybe he was gonna start his own brand,
oh
which,
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
I saw
that's
that
kind of the way. I mean,
in the
you
chat.
look at Mike, and then you look at Jeff and Dave. Like, I mean, that was the route that they ended up, taking in the, kind of aftermath of their situations. I was like, well, you know, kind of makes sense, but it also, like, the market is already pretty saturated, with board brands, and it's like it also,
Yeah.
costs a decent amount of money just to get it, up and off the ground. To be able to order enough boards, and go and sell them and distribute them, it's a, huge time investment. And so I was like, maybe not, but I mean, it was like kind of trying to think of other brands, that would be able to, afford to, pay him literally anything.
Yeah.
um and I mean, off the top, like, off the top of my head, I was like, don't think that
Yeah.
there don't think that there's any available.
Yeah.
And sure enough, here comes the dark horse, out of nowhere. That would have been my last
Underdog,
guess.
underdog scenario for sure.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, not really. I mean, I don't know. They've got money. They've got
yeah,
money. They
yeah.
just got to, you know, put it where their mouth is.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm sure he's not going there for free. So, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So I mean, I guess we'll see in 6 months from now, or a year from now, and you know, hopefully it's a positive thing.
my question is, are they going to come out with a pair of gray and blue Churchills?
Yeah, well, they did have one, so at one point in time. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought those back.
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean,
see.
the
That's
the blue is like
interesting.
a the blue was like a little bit different than the blue he uses on the Vulcans, and the blue that he used on the Stealth. It was kind of more of like a royal blue, but I mean, that doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
No.
So who are the
Well,
guys, like, where are the new uh Maury and BZ brands like based out of? Like the bodyboarding division.
France.
Like
They're still here. So
France.
Oh, really?
there's different. Well, yeah. So there's still Whammo,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that whole, like, they're still the main. They're still the owners and everything of Moray, BZ, Churchill. There is the
China.
lake. No, well, I mean,
It's a US company.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's foreign money invested into the company, but they are a U.S. based
Mm,
company, I guess you could say. Um, but there's also the legacy bodyboarding out in Europe. Think France specifically, where they're based out. They basically pay like a royalty. They do like their own thing with the brand out there.
What?
They're the ones that
Yeah.
are coming out with like those vintage, like the remakes or whatever you want to reissues, whatever you want to call them.
Oh,
They're doing that over there, and then they have a distributor uh, or distribution in Australia as well.
how does that work? Like,
Well, they just basically pay like a royalty fee. So so they pay the U.S. company a certain amount of money to be able to order to make boards under the Moray name.
so just use the
It's like a
name,
license. Yeah, it's just a licensing fee.
mm.
They're basically just paying them a licensing fee
but
to
is it
use the name.
like are the quality and materials and those things like of the true copyright of Mori, or is it kind of
Well, I mean, they make them out of from my best of knowledge, they make them out of the basically out of Brody. So I mean,
Yeah.
they I'd imagine the
They're probably
quality and
getting the same
everything
kind
is.
of polypropylene.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't personally looked into those boards because I don't have any interest in riding or buying one, so I'm not.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would be a good question for for those guys. I'm sure they could
Yeah.
go more into detail regarding the
well,
specific
just
models
like
and
is
things.
it
But
literally just a stock, you know, pretty generic bodyboard with the Mori logo slapped
Yeah.
over it?
well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what those templates. I mean, because the templates, like the original templates, are not super functional to modern standards. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what adjustments have been made to those and stuff like that. But I'm kind of curious though as to because it kind of seemed from what I had observed in the conversation, seemed that people were under the impression that he was working with with legacy bodyboarding, but I don't know if that's necessarily the
I get the
case.
impression that's the case. He
But
might, I
would
mean,
they? But the money wouldn't be coming from them though, because they just license the brand. They're not the brand.
yeah, I
So I
don't
mean,
know.
it would
Maybe they get
if they.
little
So I
maybe
don't
they get
think
little
that they
cash
would be
infusions.
cutting the checks. I don't know. I That's something that I would be curious about is where them because if the money is coming from them, then yeah, I would presume that you know then they would you know have a good
Yeah.
relationship with them. But if it's with the U.S. based company, that I
Who knows?
could be a
Yeah.
whole other story.
All
So,
Well, it'd be
right.
cool if
Well,
but
the sport gets access to that whammo money.
mm,
we'll see. We'll see.
That'd be
yeah,
nice. It's a
All right,
waiting game at that point.
Craig, you were saying you had some questions for us submitted by people.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, we got some good questions.
All right.
And the first one I actually can't even think of my answer for this. When was the last time you claimed a wave?
Probably every
Like
session.
being serious or like
Yeah, like a full on like that was sick. I'm the
okay,
fucking man claim.
this is a pretty heated topic that I did like. I love to discuss claims with people 'cause I hate them. I hate them.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. What do you call a claim? Like putting your hand up and fist
Yeah,
pumping?
like any sort of like hand up, I feel like,
Br-
or because like you
Breaking the
can,
third wall, looking at the
yeah,
audience.
like because you can like pull out of a wave and like look around. I don't really think that's like. I mean, I guess that kind of is a claim though. Like if you look back or whatever, like look at the beach. I think of
But
like hands up is like pretty like
Yeah,
blatant though.
let's just go hands up claim because that's like a pretty definitive one.
Yeah.
Maybe when I was 13.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the last time I like did like one of these, like full,
Yeah.
like you're putting your chest up and claiming it.
I did an inverse and I like threw my hands up like, what? Sort
Yeah,
of
that
deal.
one's
Yeah.
that's sick though.
But I mean, yeah, that's like the last time I think I could really remember just because I was freaking juiced on it.
Yeah.
Where are you going? When did you claim a wave last?
Yeah, so we're sneaking out of here. Where are you going?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Claims are quite the subject for me. I have some good conversation with Dave Hubbard about it
yeah.
because he's all for it. He loves it, especially in
Pro,
competition.
he's pro claim.
This is the specific pose that he likes to do. I
It's
will
almost it's
say,
almost like the Heisman.
yeah, I will say though, maybe the sickest claim I've ever seen done was by Dub, and I have to give him huge props for this. It was drop knee. He like I don't know if he come out of a barrel or if he had done a floater or something, but he was riding straight and he scooped his hand into the water and threw a shaka. Like he picked up a shaka
That's
and then he
sick.
dipped out. So he
That's so
found a
sick.
shaka, threw it up, and then bounced. And it was
Was this in competition or free surf?
yes, in comp.
Wow,
We
that's
gotta find the
amazing.
snippet of that.
Like he searched around, picked it up, shaka,
Where
bounce.
was it?
I feel like it was in Antofagasta. I could be wrong though.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Maybe someone out there knows the answer to that, so we can find that.
It was the
that's
sickest
sick.
thing. It was the sickest thing ever. That's the only claim I'll accept.
Yeah. What about you, Tristan? Do you remember? Or do you have one off the top of your head?
Like I said, every time I surf, I claim. Whether
You
it's
just
anyone there or it's just me, just connecting shakas.
yeah, you're alone. You're
Just
just claiming literally every wave.
Just
I was
Stormy.
trying to think of the last one. I think like where I actually was kind of like, whoa, that was pretty crazy was I think it was one of our trips, one of our 2021 trips to Waco. And
Mm,
I got this insane mini bug wave. I think we were surfing like that shitty like the three wave like setting or whatever,
mm.
the point break wave. And
The
like
lowers.
I yeah, the fuck that wave is so lame. But it was like I was like riding the mini bug because like even on a regular bug, it's like you can like barely fit into the barrel because it's like such a
Yeah.
bad wave. But anyways, I like took off kind of like underneath the lip and like I literally got drained. I just got drained for like for
That's
so like literally just the because like you're on the boat, you're on the mini, so like it's like so easy to fit. And like I mean, you know, I oftentimes in waves are like pumping, like I'm filming, so like I don't surf like firing waves all the
mm,
time. And so like for me,
yeah, so on.
that was like the longest barrel. Like it was definitely multiple seconds. Like it was like one Mississippi, two like it was like at least it was somewhere in like the four, like it was somewhere like in
Yeah.
the four range for sure. And for like a
you
mini
were
big barrel,
properly
I was
parked.
yeah, I was properly parked on that
Mm.
thing, and and then like I literally came out like where the wave like dies, and I was like, whoa, that was I was pretty.
You were
I don't.
one with the pool.
Yeah, I was one with the pool. Like, I mean, I don't remember if I like did anything, but I think I
Yeah.
just was like looking around, like I hope someone's like I hope someone saw that.
Yeah. All right,
Sick.
let's dive into the next one here. This one is from our boy Jamie Rose video.
Oh
oh,
boy. Okay.
Why is it kooky to hold your board and fins in opposite hands?
Oh,
it's not. Do it.
see what happens.
That's it. That's it. Next
Do
question.
it. Do it. See what happens. I don't know why it's kooky, but it just is. It
Yeah,
just
it just
is. It's just
looks
it's just aesthetically like it just looks
looks wrong.
weird. It just looks
but
wrong.
then again, like how cool can you look holding a boogie board? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
what didn't we talk about this? It's not about looking
Yeah,
cool, Jamie.
yeah. I think you're just trying not to look even more lame than you already do by holding a boogie board.
Yeah.
If you're gonna hold a bodyboard, you gotta hold it in one hand. All your
I'm
stuff, one hand.
I'm walking
Yeah.
down with the fins on, no matter how far the walk is to the water. Imagine walking
I
down
love-
the Blacks Hill with fins on.
Oh my God.
I just put all my stuff on the board and then I just drag it down the creek hill.
Just throw it. Yeah.
I just put the
Yeah.
cooler, put the umbrella, put just everything on the board and just drag it through the gravel the whole way down the hill.
Yeah. Oof. Yikes.
That's heinous.
Makes my skin crawl.
Next one.
All right. Yeah, what else we got?
From Go Pounders,
Hmm.
aka Ninja. If you could
Ninja's
only
an AK.
Yeah, that's actually
Go Pounders, aka Ninja.
You can't have an
aka
alias
Leap.
for an alias.
That's like if you know kind of deal in that situation.
Yeah.
If you could only surf one beach for the rest of your life, where would it be? Waves. I'm taking this as the waves are going to be like good. So imagine like
The waves are good every day.
yeah, but like it's the only place you can go.
Did he like specify beach or is that just wave?
Surf one beach for the rest of your life.
Okay,
Where?
so we're going only beach breaks then.
Oh,
we're just
dang,
talking
that's
waves.
that's a good point.
Fair point. Fair point.
Because pipeline's a beach. I'm taking that probably no
Yeah.
matter what.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you just say, "Oh, I'm gonna surf Ukai Beach Park" or whatever, and it's like
Yeah.
a whole. Or you could just say, "I'm gonna surf the North Shore," like the whole 7 mile stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all one beach.
Let's change that.
Just
Let's change it to wave. Maybe that'll
Yeah,
like
I think wave.
'cause-
Wave makes it a little bit more specific.
Yeah, that's a tough one. There's a lot of places
feel
that
so-
I want.
I feel so lame just saying pipe, but it's just the truth.
No,
It's
I'm gonna
like, it's
throw.
so
I'm
It's so
I'm gonna
not creative.
I'm gonna propose. I'm gonna propose something to you, Tanner, that I think I might sell you on
Okay.
to pull you away from pipe. Keiki.
Ooh.
Because you could have shore break days, you could have wedge days, and you could
Ooh.
have beach break days all at the same place.
Dude, that
You
day
make
is
it
so fun.
you make a valid point, but I'm
So
doubling
you
down.
could
You made me think about it though. Which most places I probably wouldn't think about it.
you wouldn't even
No.
All right, well
But just
that's
if it was wedging, it makes it a lot.
yeah.
There's just
It brings it
crazy
up a
stuff.
notch for sure.
Yeah. Have you surfed it like on a proper like beach break day? I mean, we got it that one time
Mhm.
when like Kane and all those guys were there.
Yeah,
But it was
that was
like
so fun.
That was pretty good. I've seen it better though. Like
Yeah,
even
I
better
can
than that.
see
Like
it.
have you surfed it better than that, Tanner?
Yeah, me and Ian had a pretty crazy couple of days there one year. I don't remember what season it was, but it was pretty
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, it was
getting,
like a full on beach break.
Yeah,
Like spitting
Was-
barrels, like a wave.
yeah, it was legit.
Okay.
That's like,
All right.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know it did that, and then we showed up one day to surf the shore break, and it was just like
Yeah.
firing.
That's crazy.
And
Yeah.
also too, you can go dive for sunrise shells.
Yeah,
Aw.
you can go play on the rocks.
You go play in the
Yeah.
rocks, then you can
In
walk
the dark.
across the street, go get a poke bowl, some beers, come back, hang out, watch the sunset.
Oh yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it was
Man,
daydream.
I haven't had a proper keiki hang for a while. I'm kind of missing it.
We should go just for like 2 days, just like what Tanner did, and just go to Keiki for like 36 hours and leave.
And just sleep on the beach there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you could. I've slept down there before.
Swear.
yeah, it's done some time.
Dirty
Where's-
dog.
Dude.
Where's your
Yeah.
zone, T?
My zone. Well, it's like wish I could tell you kind of situation. I mean, let's just leave it at my zone. It's a place called Zone.
Oh,
If
That's
you
the
know, then
worst.
you know. And
No,
you
that's
know
the
that it's
worst.
perfect
That
and
is the worst
firing.
choice.
It's a wedge, a short break.
There's a couple people out there that are just furious that you said that.
That I even mentioned zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very descriptive, and you gave them exactly all they needed to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got this place I'm talking about. It's got everything you need. Ciders, double ciders, perfect slab.
It's all there.
Oh,
And that
show me a wave that has all that. It's double
Yeah.
ciders. I don't see double ciders up pipe.
You don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I've
I
seen
think
it. It's not fun. You don't want to see it.
that's bad.
Yeah. All right.
I
What
would
else do people
probably
want to know from us?
I'd probably go with Aguero, to be honest.
Oh yeah, true.
I think that is just like
Wait,
my
where did you say?
that Aguero wave from the Canaries.
Oh, dude, yeah,
Big,
that wave
big,
was
good,
yeah.
clean, right, safe
Pretty
slab.
safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty safe.
Yeah.
You can get really smoked, but it's pretty safe.
Dude, Tanner, do you remember when I paddled out on the freaking that vintage Moray that was like it
Yes.
was like fully reverse rockered, and then
That's
first wave like T-Bone's like, bro, you're gonna kill yourself. And I'm like, no, I got this. It was like pumping. And like I like you like couldn't paddle on the thing because it was like literally it was like reverse banana. And
Just
I
trying
like
to go to the
tried
bottom.
kick
that
just
sounds
tried
so
yeah, like
scary.
just tried getting like just scratching into it, and I felt like I was moving backwards. Like basically I just took off like it was already barreling over me and I was still paddling.
Dude, that
God.
sounds so bad.
And then I just got like picked up, and there was like I think there was like a sequence like my fins were like I was like fully upside down in the lip, and it was pretty funny.
All right. Let's tap this episode off with I didn't save who said this one, but what do you think when people comment where a post is, whether it's right or wrong? And after I read that, I was thinking about it and I was like, that kind of just pisses me off, dude. Like
Yeah.
even if it's like freak and someone's like, oh, so I saw someone do it for like off a
Just
wall the
call.
other day. And I was like,
Just,
why?
just shut it.
It's just like, I don't know. It's just funny.
Unnecessary.
It's just funny to me. It's like,
I can guarantee you, even if it is like the most like blatantly obvious location, I'm never gonna respond to that comment.
yeah.
Like I'm never gonna engage with that. Where is
I don't
this?
even understand
Next.
what is the point though? Like, what are you trying to? What purpose are you serving? Like by saying that, it's like, are you trying to
Uh,
show people that you're cool because you know where it
I
is,
think
or
it's
like I
yeah.
don't.
I think that's what it is. It's like they just want people to know that they also know where it is, and
They're
then
like,
like,
yeah, I know where it is. Like, I wasn't there when it was firing, but I know where it is.
but I'm so
Like,
good at knowing where places are that I just know where everything is. No, I don't know.
yeah.
I just that's when I saw that I started seeing it more, and I was like, hmm, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
And then
what
it's weird because it's like if we go somewhere that's like even somewhat localized and some dingbot says that, and it's like, well, we like hit it pretty well, whatever it may be, and then someone out there is just blasting it. It's like, all right, that's just stupid.
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
whatever, I don't care if you comment it, it's not gonna get responded to. And I
Yeah,
see that for like most times I see that commented on things doesn't get acknowledged.
yeah, with anyone
Mhm.
really.
Or what pisses me off if it's like if it's a wedge clip, it's we're usually tagging the wedge
Yeah,
location. You can see the jetty in the background,
yeah,
and it's like, okay,
You can see my apartment in the in the
yeah.
back
yeah. It's like, okay,
waving.
come on. Just
It's like, is that the wedge?
Yeah.
I'm giving you all the information that you could need to figure it out yourself,
Yeah.
and you still had to ask, where is this? So
Yeah.
just not going to acknowledge it.
Yeah,
It's kind of
pretty funny.
funny too, because like in some cases where they're like, "Where is this?" It's like people that like let's just say it's like a crazy slab or something like an
Mm,
aguajero type way of like, well, that one's not like crazy, but like, you know, just like
Yeah.
any like crazy wave. And it's like, where is this like, oh yeah, like you know, like I would say 95% of people aren't even capable of even surfing the wave, even if they knew where it was to begin with. It's like, bro, what are you
yeah.
like? What does it matter where it is? Are you planning on going there? Like,
Mhm.
you're not gonna go there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
So
do appreciate how most of the time the times I do see it responded to, it's usually just trolling them back. Like someone will ask, where is this?
Yeah.
And someone will respond, someone else usually, and they'll just
Hmm.
say like Doheny.
Yeah.
Tristan's
Or
good at
like,
Yeah.
that
It's
one.
always that's kind of
yeah.
funny.
So
Tristan's real good at that one.
Don't ask, don't
The
tell.
the troll back.
yeah.
There was some guy that said something about bodyboarders being stupid and had like a tequila bottle on his head as his profile photo, and Tristan just lit the guy up. Like he said something that like boogie boarders are a doormat, and he just responds back with the simplest like, "You're a doormat." Like I could just fully like, just I could hear that.
He probably saw it and was like, well, you can't do anything after that point.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just shut it down.
Unrebuttable.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
coming back from that.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Exactly.
And on that note, thanks everybody for tuning in to the fourth episode of the Breaking Even podcast. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time.